Christy. Welcome to my first non-long honeymoon YouTube video. Every now and then I get comments from viewers on our long honeymoon YouTube channel asking me about my makeup or my skincare. So I thought I would do a video sort of showing you just a basic how I do my makeup on the average day sort of video. I'm just gonna do it like a get ready style with me. So I'm gonna start with moisturizer and then go all the way through. First thing I put on is just my eye cream. I'm just using Bobbi Brown Hydrating Eye Cream. I have super sensitive skin, and most eye creams, when I put them on, really burn my skin and make my eyes water. So I have to be really careful about what eye products I use, and the Bobbi Brown Hydrating Eye Cream is one that I can actually use without any problems. I'm gonna use this Embryolaise's Lait Crème Concentré. Does that sound French enough for you? I'm sure I'm completely butchering the correct pronunciation of that. This is just a great moisturizer that works really well under makeup. Pretty much every skin type does well with this moisturizer. And if you have dry skin, I would just recommend putting on a little bit of a thicker layer and letting it really soak in. Okay, so now that I've got my moisturizer rubbed in, I've sort of let it set for a couple of minutes so that it has a little time to sink in. Something else that I often put on, well, I do put it on anytime I'm doing my makeup for daytime, is sunscreen. One that I use is the Supergoop Mineral Sunscreen, and it's specifically for sensitive skin. If I was doing my makeup for nighttime, I wouldn't worry about putting on sunscreen, but anytime you're gonna be outdoors in daylight, slather on the sunscreen. And you can see how much I'm putting on, and I've already put on moisturizer. Okay, now that I've had a chance for that sunscreen to sink in just a smidge, I'm gonna put on my foundation. And the foundation I'm gonna use today is one of my longtime favorites. They have a huge range of color selection, so it's pretty easy to match just about anybody. And that is the MAC Face and Body Foundation. I'm just gonna put this out on the back of my hand here. And I'm just going to put it all over my face with my finger first. And you can see it's a pretty watery, liquidy consistency. It is I would say a sheer to medium coverage, just depending on what kind of skin you have. And I'm using a damp Real Techniques Miracle Sponge. I'll put some links below for these. Okay, so you can sort of see this foundation. It's not completely full coverage, but if you want to, you can layer this and make it more full coverage. This builds really well. It looks really natural. I would say out of all the foundations I have, it is the most skin-like looking foundation. And that's the beauty of Face and Body, is that it works on pretty much all age ranges. You don't have to be, 22 with perfect skin for it to look nice on you. So I'm gonna use this MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this on my middle finger here, and I'm just sort of dotting it on my eyelids. And you can see it looks kind of thick there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my clean finger and then I'm gonna smooth it out. So this is just working as a primer. Basically, it's gonna give my eyeshadow something to stick to, and it's gonna make my eyeshadow last longer throughout the day and decrease the chance of it creasing. Okay, so now that I've got my eyeshadow primer on, I'm gonna lay down a very neutral color all over my lid to sort of give me a base to work on. So I'm gonna use White Chocolate, which is in the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. Putting it on this brush, tap off your excess because that way you'll have less fallout around your eye. So I'm just going to lightly put that all over my eye. So that's gonna help me sort of blend my eyeshadows much easier. The colors I'm gonna use on my lid today are just gonna be sort of neutral colors. I'm gonna use a brown and sort of a bronzy color. The main color I'm gonna be using is this soft brown. It's a MAC eyeshadow. And the brush I'm gonna put that on with is a MAC 217 brush. And some on my brush, tap off the excess, and then I'm just gonna work in sort of little circular motions in this outside corner into my crease here. And I have more hooded eyes, so that means that when I am looking in the mirror straight ahead or looking at someone straight on, you don't see a lot of my actual eyelid, the mobile part of your lid. You don't see a lot of that. So if I want people to see the color that is on my eye, I have to bring it up into this crease area. So again, I'm just gonna work this in and, you know, just sort of little swirly motions. You know, think of wax on, wax off, right? But little tiny wax on, wax off motions. And get in there to that inner corner just a little bit. And this is just sort of blending in that shadow, so it's not gonna be such a harsh look. And I'm gonna use just a clean brush, little fluffy brush, and I'm gonna go in and sort of blend this all together so it's gonna look a little more seamless. And that is going to give me that nicely blended look. So super easy. I'm gonna take a little pointy pencil brush. I'm just kind of loading that brush up, tapping off the excess, and I'm just gonna put a little bit underneath my eye. So now I'm going to use a little bit darker shadow. The color I'm gonna use is this MAC brown, and it's called Handwritten. So it's just sort of a really basic matte brown, and I'm just gonna get a little on my brush, and I'm just gonna go to this outer corner again, very lightly. Let's bring some over here. And this time I'm doing more of like just a small little tap motion because I'm wanting to keep this really centralized to this outer corner area. So I don't want to do too much of the swirly motion with this dark color. And then I'm going to take this semi-clean brush again, and I'm going to do the same thing I did before with that little circular motion to sort of just blend it in a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of a highlight color right in the center of my eyelid. The color that I'm going to use to do that is called Bronze, and you can see I really like this color, but this is another MAC color, and I'm just going to use my finger. So I'm just going to get some on my finger there like that, and I'm just going to tap it right in the middle right there. I'm gonna do the same over here, and I'm gonna use my little trusty blendy brush again and just sort of make sure that there's no harsh edges on that. So this last color is called Woodwinked, and this is another MAC shadow. And again, I'm just gonna lightly get it on the back of my finger and tap it right there in the center. So I'm gonna do the same thing on both eyes. Just gonna do a quick little blend. And I don't wanna blend that too much because I don't wanna lose that definition right there on the center part of my eye. And then I'm gonna go back to that original brush where I had that light color shadow on. And I'm just gonna run it under my brow. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on my brows. And brows are important because they really help frame your face. I'm using the Anastasia Brow Wiz, and this is in the shade Taupe. And I'm just gonna put this on with little small flecks because you want it to look like hair. You don't wanna fill it in completely like you're coloring, but you want that sort of nice little flecky look so that it will look like actual hair. So now that I've got my brows on, I'm gonna brush through them with a little spoolie. And this is basically what you find in a mascara tube, but you can buy them just on a brush end. Then I'm just gonna brush through where I put on my eyebrow pencil, and that just sort of helps it look a little more natural. I'm just gonna use a very matte brown eyeliner, and I'm gonna show you the technique that I do that makes a big difference in how your lashes look, just overall how your eye looks. It's called tight lining if you aren't familiar with it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line the waterline of the upper eye. Let me show you how I do it. I personally look down and towards my nose area, and I start on this outer edge right here, and I just follow the curve of my eye. some people can do that, some people can't. And then I do my inner eye just looking in a mirror. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of eyeliner on the top of my eye on both sides. I'm just gonna draw right into my lash line, just sort of smudging it back and forth. It doesn't have to be super neat when you're getting this close to your lash line. I just want it to look really smudged right into my lash line. Do the other side, just on the outer side. I'm gonna put a little bit of liner in my lower lash line, and I'm gonna use this jumbo eye pencil. This is in the color Sparkle Nude. And so this is just a way to brighten up that lower lash line. I'm just gonna put it right here in that waterline, just a little in my inner corner. I'm going to put on my mascara so that you can see that difference between this eye that's been tight lined and this one that hasn't. Here is that Too Faced mascara, and it's called Better Than Sex. So I'm gonna put that on, and I'm going to just really get in to the roots down there. So something else I do, or don't do I guess, is put mascara on my lower lashes. Anything you put on those lower lashes is drawing attention to that area, and so I want the focus to be on the upper part of my eye. I want it to look more lifted, and so I skip the mascara on my lower lashes. And you can see I'm putting several coats, because if you want your mascara to look like it does in those ads where you see all the models with their fancy mascara, it doesn't just happen with one swipe. So now I think is when you can really tell the difference between the eye that has been tight lined and the eye that hasn't. So it just makes, when you tight line your eye, it really just makes your lashes look thicker. It just sort of makes your eye look more complete. Now I'm gonna do this side just to make it match up. So now that we've got the eyes finished, I'm gonna move on to finishing off my face. I'm gonna put a little bit of bronzer on. I'm very fair skinned, so I don't put much bronzer on because I don't want it to look fake, but I want a little bit of life, a little bit of color. And so I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury Sculpt and Highlight. It's called the Bronze and Glow. And I'm just gonna use a big fluffy brush. You can use whatever kind you want. Shake off the excess, and then I'm just gonna go in a nice circular motion. Also gonna bring it down my neck just a little bit, and you wanna bring it on your ears. You don't want like a tan browned face and then have these white or red ears. So, and then I'm gonna bring it down my neck just a little bit. I'm gonna use a couple of shades from this Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. Is this one right here called Cherry, and this one right here called Hush. So I'm just gonna tap my brush into each one of those, tap off the excess, and I'm just gonna sort of go in a circular motion and sweep it over the apple of my cheek and up. I'm gonna use this Tom Ford, and this is in the shade Mood Light. And I'm gonna use this lighter shade here. Swirl that on the upper cheekbone there where you would catch light. You don't want too much. You just want it to be soft and pretty. That is pretty much it for my face. I am gonna do a little bit of lipstick. I'm gonna use this MAC lip liner in the shade Soar. So when you line your lips, you wanna line right on that edge of your lip. A lot of people will tell you that you can overline your lips, and you totally can, but people are gonna be able to spot it when they are close to you. It may not show up in photos, but when you're talking to people up close, they're gonna be able to see that you've drawn outside that lip line. So you just wanna go right on that edge of your lip. And another tip for putting on lip liner, if you'll start from the outer edge and work your way up, you'll do a better job drawing the line of your lip. Start on the outer edge and work your way up. Now when you get up here, one thing that you can do is sort of make an X on your lip, and that will sort of help you find your Cupid's bow easily. You see I sort of drew an X there, and then you can connect it. I don't have really full lips, so to make my lips look a little fuller, I'm gonna cheat it a little bit and I'm gonna fill in this outside edge. I'm gonna take this lipstick shade. It's called Syrup, and this is just a MAC lipstick. I'm gonna blot this a little bit. This is by Bite Beauty. It's the shade Blanc. So it's a white, matte, creamy lipstick. And the reason why I'm using this is because I'm gonna lighten this lipstick a little bit and sort of give me like an ombre look to my lips, so the inside's gonna look a little bit fuller, so. And then I'm gonna put just a smidge of gloss over this, and I'm just gonna use a clear gloss from Bobbi Brown. So there you go, it sort of lightened up that lipstick a little bit. Just made my lips look a little bit fuller than they really are. So I'm gonna take my hair down. And the final step that I do, you don't have to do it, but it's gonna make your makeup last longer. I'm gonna put on a setting spray. The makeup finishing spray, this is by Scandinavia, and it's the bridal one. And you're just gonna sort of do 3 quick spritzes there, and then I'm gonna fan it to let it dry. So it's just gonna help my makeup from melting off my face as the day goes on. This has sort of been a long-winded video, but it's the first time I've filmed a look like this on camera, and so you tend to get a little chatty, so if I've been too chatty, I apologize, and I'll hope to make these faster and just more quick tip type of videos going forward. And I'll just show you what I know. And that's the thing about makeup, you can do it for so long and you'll learn a new technique, or you'll learn a new trick, or you know, everybody does things a little differently, and sometimes it's better and sometimes it's not. So hopefully I'll break bad habits if I have any, and I'll learn new things from other people. If you have any ideas that you want me to film, please let me know. If you have any looks that you'd like for me to film, or if you have any questions that I can answer, I'd be happy to do so. And if you are new to my channel, which you have to be because this is my very first video, I would ask that you please subscribe, and hopefully my content will get better and smoother. Maybe I'll do more vlog type things where I'm sort of out in public and we'll go shopping for makeup or something fun like that. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you enjoyed it, leave me a comment, let me know. If you want to see something else, let me know. Thanks so much for checking out my video, and like I said, if you liked it, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.